there are number of mechanisms: 4-bar chain, single slider, double slider, and then there are number of links through which the process of a mechanism takes place. So this is my mechanism. Now if after mechanism, the next thing that we should be aware of is link. What is a link? Second term is link. What is a link? It may be known as a kinematic link or kinematic element. So for example, if there is a relative motion, this is my, for example, this is one link, this is one link, okay, and here there is another link. This is fixed link, let us say it as 1, this link B2. Now if this link, if this machine member is rotating with respect to this fixed link, if I will draw the skeleton diagram, it will be like this. This is the skeleton diagram. For example, this is link 2 and this is link 1 and this link is rotating. Now what is a kinematic link? I can define, or I can say that the link or a part of a machine member which has a relative motion, to some other part of a machine, that is known as a kinematic link. For example, this is link number 1 and this is link number 2, and fixed link is always, I am giving fixed link as link number 1. Here there is a relative motion with the fixed link, it is moving with respect to the fixed point. So there will be, when two members of a part of a machine part moves related to each other, then it is known as a kinematic link. Now kinematic link is categorized into 3 types. Okay, the first categorization is the rigid link. The second categorization is of flexible link. The third characterization is of fluid link. So generally we are focusing on rigid link. Rigid link means what? For example, take the example of a connecting rod or a piston and cylinder arrangement or any machine part. In rigid link, there is no deformation while transmitting the motion. There will be no deformation. If we will go for flexible link, there will be some deformation, partly deformation while transmitting the motion. For example, you can take the example of belt drives, okay, chain drive. Here there is partly deformation while transmitting motion. And the last one is your fluid link. So in simple language, I can define fluid link as the link which transmit motion with the help of or by using fluid pressure or hydraulic, example brakes of automobiles, shock absorbers, for example the hydraulic ram where hydraulic fluid plays an important role. So that is the fluid link. So our focus is related to rigid link. So before solving the degree of freedom numericals, a student should be aware of link. So link is a machine member which has relative motion with respect to some other. Now after link, we will go to the types of rigid link. We have seen that what is rigid link? There is deformation, no deformation while transmitting the motion. So rigid link is again specified in 3 types. First is known as binary link, second is ternary link, And the third one is your quaternary link. Quaternary link. What do you mean by binary link? For example, let us take the example of a connecting rod of a machine. This is the connecting rod. This is the connecting rod, or a coupler, you can say that, of a machine part. If I will draw its skeleton diagram, it has two connection points or two end points. These end points are known as nodes. These end points are known as nodes. So, in binary links, there are two nodes. If I will consider ternary link, for example, in ternary link, I will draw with other color. For example, see, this is a ternary link. Ternary link or a ternary plate. It is a solid ternary plate and it will has three nodes. Okay. So what I can do, I will attach one link here. I can also attach one link to attach three links with respect to this. And the skeleton diagram of this is like this. This is the ternary link. And in some cases it is hashed, in some cases it is dotted, or dark shading is given in the gate questions if a degree of freedom question is asked for 1 or 2 marks. Okay, this is your ternary link. So I can say that in ternary links there are 3 nodes, and if we will go for quaternary link, so this is the quaternary link. This is a quaternary link. There will be 4 connections or 4 nodes. So here there are 2 nodes, in ternary 3 nodes, in quaternary there are 4 nodes. So in quaternary plate we can connect 4 links, in ternary links we can connect 3 links, in binary we can connect 2 links. So these are the types of rigid link. So see, first we have seen the link. Okay, after the link we have seen types of link, rigid, flexible, fluid, types of rigid link, binary, ternary and quaternary. Also, after this, now we will go for kinematic pair. Just I am briefing out before coming to our problems. Kinematic pair. Now, what is a kinematic pair? Pair means what? Pair means where there is a combination of number of links in such a way that there is a motion, relative motion between them. So that is a kinematic pair. Now for example, I can define kinematic pair as when 2 links, I will just define by drawing a diagram. I will not write, I will just define my statements. I will just add my statement with a structural or a noding diagram. I will not write the theoretical statement. Kinematic pair means, for example, if 2 links are connected, this is link number 1, it is a fixed link and it is connected with another link. When 2 links are connected, this is your link number 2, in such a way that their motion is either completely constrained or successfully constrained, then these 2 links are said to be a kinematic pair. Now question arises that, sir, what is completely or successfully constrained motion? So completely constrained motion means relative motion only in definite direction. Definite direction. For example, you can see the movement of piston inside the cylinder arrangement. The motion is in a definite direction. In single slider, the motion of slider is in definite direction. In shaper machine, the return stroke and forward stroke of the cutting tool is in definite direction within the limitation, within the stopping range. Okay. And what is successfully constrained motion? Relative motion between links is not completely constrained by itself, but it is made so, by some other means. That is known as successfully constrained motion. So, in kinematic pair, there will be relative motion between two links in such a way that the motion is completely constrained, that is, motion is in definite direction, or successfully constrained, that is, the motion is completed with the help of some external means or external agency. Then such type of pair attachment between link 1 and link 2 is known as a kinematic pair. Now, if I will increase the number of links, okay, अगर मैं number of links increase कर दे रहा हूं, for example, this is link number 3, this is link number 4, then here there is a slider which is again another link, this is 4, this slider is link number 5. So what I have done, I have attached series of links. So it is known as a kinematic chain. Okay. So this is the basic definition of kinematic pair and kinematic chain. Now, before going for the problem, you should know the basic types of kinematic pairs that will come into the picture. So I am just going through the two main types of kinematic pairs. I'm going through the nature of relative motion between the links, in which we will see sliding pair, turning pair, screw pair, cylindrical pair, then globular pair or rolling pair. Okay, I am just going through the nature of contact between the links. So according to the nature of contact, or related to the nature of contact. So according to the nature of contact, there are two pairs which are important. One is lower and another one is higher pair. These are the two pairs, lower pair, higher. Now lower pair and higher pair comes under the category of nature of contact. Nature of contact means what? Nature of contact means when, if we are observing the movement of two links with respect to their geometrical constraint or with respect to their geometrical utilization, that is known as nature of contact. For example, if surface contact, if there is surface or area contact, it comes under, for example, prismatic pair. In prismatic pair, we can take the example. For example, this is the slider, this is the fixed link. Slider is sliding with respect to the fixed link. One slider is 2. So the nature of contact between them is sliding pair. Generally, it is known as a prismatic pair. And a revolute pair or turning pair. Revolute or turning pair means at each and every joint there is a revolute pair where one link revolves or turns with respect to another link. Then screw pair, we can take the example of nut and bolt. That also comes under the lower pair. And next is your there is point contact or line contact. Higher pair means when there is point contact or line contact. Point contact, we can take example of a cam and a follower mechanism. For this is your cam, roller, and this is your cam. Cam is rotating and roller is reciprocating. So here there is a point contact. We can take the example of a cylinder rolling on a surface. There is a cylinder, or a roller which rolls on a cricket pitch to maintain the quality of pitch. That also comes under a line contact. The railway wagon wheels attached to the rail track, it also comes under line contact. So these are mating of two gears which are PCD gears, the PCD of two gears, pitch circle diameter pair. So this is also known as point contact. So these are the two categories. Now let us go for types of joint. Let us go for types of joint. Types of joint. And I am assuming that all the students who are attending this class, they are also writing these silent points, because it is a live class. They are also writing the silent points, and similarly they will solve problems. Please, all the students, please note that you should have some register where you can note all these points, and also you can solve with me when I will take the examples. Okay. Now let us go to the types of joint. In types of joint, as we have seen in types of rigid link, one is binary, ternary, quaternary. Similarly, in types of joint, there is a binary joint. Binary joint. Similarly, there is a ternary joint or tertiary joint, and third one is your quaternary joint. These are the three types of joint. Now what is binary joint? Binary joint means when two links are connected. When two links, for example, this is one link, this is second link. When two links are connected or joined at the same connection, this is the same connection, this is known as binary joint. That is the binary joint. Okay. What is ternary joint? When three links are connected at the same connection. For example, this is link 1, link 2. Link 1, I will not give link 1 because I always prefer that link 1 is fixed. So this is link 2, this is link 3. This is link 2, this is 3, this is link 4. So at this joint, three links are connected. Okay. So when three links are joined together at the same connection to form a kinematic chain, then such type of joints are known as ternary joint. And in ternary joint, this is binary joint, this is ternary joint. One ternary joint equal to two binary joint. Here there will be one revolute pair which is denoted by R, and here there will be two revolute pair, R plus R. And similarly, that theory is also applicable for quaternary. For example, at one point there are four links are connected, then it is known as quaternary joint. And quaternary joint have three binary joint. Three binary joint means between link 2 and 3 there is one revolute pair. Between link 3 and 4 there is one revolute pair. Between link 4 and 5 there will be one revolute pair. It has to be noted that The revolute pair is between two simultaneous links. Okay, link 2, 3, then 3, 4, then 4, 5. So this is known as quaternary joint. So from here we can say that in a ternary joint there will be two binary joints that are two revolute pair. In quaternary joint there will be three binary joints. It means there will be three revolute pair. Now friends, let us switch to our main. All that we have studied is related to links. Now let us go to the mobility of mechanism. Let us go to the mobility of mechanism. Mobility. What is mobility? Mobility means degree of freedom of a mechanism. So degree of freedom of a mechanism means minimum number of independent parameters, minimum number of independent parameters required to specify the location of every link within a mechanism. I am writing it slowly so that you can also copy it. This is the mobility. In simple language, mobility is the number of independent coordinates required to describe the position. I can also say that how many number of independent coordinates will be required to describe the position of a body in a space. That is the degree of freedom. And through the Kutzbach criteria, actually there are two criteria, Grubler's and Kutzbach criteria. Through the Kutzbach criteria, we can define degree of freedom. And degree of freedom equation is, Kutzbach criteria equation is F equal to 3n minus 1 minus 2j minus h. This is the basic degree of freedom, and if there is any redundant link, then it will be minus fr. This is the basic. So this redundant link or redundant degree of freedom is used when in a system there is a link which has no use in it. That is known as a redundant degree of freedom. Okay, or redundant pair. Now for example, here what is n? N is total number of links. How many number of links are required in a mechanism? That is known as n. Total number of links in a mechanism, out of which always one link will be fixed, and all the links which are fixed in a mechanism are designated or denoted as link number 1. Please make a point of it. Similarly, what is J? J means number of simple binary joints or ternary joints or quaternary joints, or in simple manner number of lower pairs. J is number of lower pairs. And what is H? H means total number of higher pair. Higher pair is your point contact, or line contact. Now, and FR, redundant degree of freedom, or redundant, which is not part of a mechanism. For example, I can also, instead of FR, I can also write it capital X. X is the redundant, which is not part of a mechanism. Okay. Now, for example, in degree of freedom, there are, in degree of freedom, there are certain aspects whose introspection is very necessary. First, that degree of freedom maybe 1, degree of freedom can be 2. For example, degree of freedom in special cases maybe 3. For example, degree of freedom maybe 0. Degree of freedom can be -1. Similarly, degree of freedom for each and every cases, for each and every kinematic chain, there is some degree of freedom. And so what I will do, for example, if degree of freedom is 1, it means that one input is required for one output. Take the example of single slider crank chain. Take the example of 4-bar crank chain. You will find that there is 1 degree of freedom. Similarly, degree of freedom and degree of freedom 1 means it is a mechanism. Degree of freedom is 2, also it is a mechanism. Degree of freedom is 3, is also a mechanism. But degree of freedom is 2, it means that a mechanism requires 2 inputs for a unique output. Here a mechanism requires 3 input for a unique output. And if it is a 0, it is a structure, वो structure है. And if it is -1, it will be a superstructure. Very important, you should know it. Now, for example, if degree of freedom is 0, it is a structure. So, what is the difference between structure and superstructure? Structure means it is a device which is statically determinate in a structural manner. Statically determinate in a structural manner means here with the help of free body diagram, with the help of equilibrium equations, we can find the forces that are solely responsible. Okay. So with the help of free body diagrams and equilibrium equation, we can determine the reactions. We can determine, reaction means your support reactions. We can determine the forces. Okay. By using Lami's theorem, by using law of triangle forces, by using equilibrium condition equations for collinear and non-collinear, summation f of x, summation f of y, and then we can justify it. And what is superstructure? An example of structures: simply supported beams, cantilever beams, then hinged arches, overhanging beams. These are example of structures. Similarly, Example of superstructure is fixed beam, continuous beam, then fixed arches, then two hinged arches, multi-storied frames, etc. All these are superstructures. And in superstructures, it is not sufficient that with the help of free body diagram and equation of equilibrium we can determine the reactions. Here equilibrium equations are insufficient for determining internal forces and reactions. So here we have to take the use of virtual work principle, okay, and such that we are able to find the reactions and forces. So this is the basic concept of degree of freedom. Now we will go for redundant link, and then we will cover problems related to degree of freedom. Now, as I have told you, what is the redundant link? What is a redundant link? What is a redundant link? So I can say that I will explain you with a diagram. Let us consider as a fixed link. This is a ternary link. Here there is another fixed link. This is my ternary link. Now, join this link. Now what I am doing here, I am also attaching another link which is parallel to the top link. Now, as I have told you, link 1, this is link 2, this is link 3, this is link 4, and this is your link number 5. Now basically, in a mechanism or a mechanism may have one or more links which do not introduce any extra constraint. For example, here you can see that link 3 and 4 which are parallel to each other, if I will remove link 4, the geometry and the input and output motion will not get disturbed. It is of no use. So such type of links which if are removed, they do not introduce any extra constraints in the mechanism. Such links are known as redundant links and should not be considered while determining the degree of freedom. It should not be taken into account. Similarly, redundant joint also not be taken into account. So this is the basic concept. Here see, link 3 and link 4, link 3 and link 4 are termed as redundant links as none of them produces extra constraint. And if I will remove one of the two links, the motion remains the same. If I will remove one of the two links here, either 3 or the motion will remain same. Motion remains same means what? If with respect to link 1, 2 is turning, so with respect to link 1, link 5 is also turning. ऐसा नहीं है कि if I am removing link to 4 because it is redundant, because of the change in the geometrical construction or because of the removing the link, the input and output motion gets disturbed. It is not that case. So we can remove any one of the links. and then we can calculate the degree of freedom. So redundant, which is not part of a mechanism, एक्स्ट्रा की चीज है, निकाल के फेंक दो, that is the redundant link. Now let us solve some numericals related to degree of freedom. So I will draw a double parallelogram mechanism problem number 1. For example, this is a double parallelogram mechanism. This is one parallelogram and this is another parallelogram. It is a double parallelogram mechanism. Okay, and in this double parallelogram mechanism, PQ, this is PQ link. PQ is a single link. PQ please note, it is specified PQ is a single link. PQ is a single link. Now, the mobility of the mechanism is, there are 4 options. The first option is -1. The second option is 0. The third option is 1. And the fourth option is 2. These are the 4th option. Like this. And out of this 4 options, one option is correct. Either -1, 1, 0 or 2. Now students, whenever you will see a numerical related to mobility or a degree of freedom, we have to determine what? We have to determine degree of freedom. Whenever we will see a numerical related to degree of freedom, first of all, carefully observe the arrangement. Carefully observe the arrangement. For example, if I will directly blindly if I will solve this question, it may be like this. Fixed link is 1. Okay, this is link 2, this is link 3, this is my link 4, and this is my link 5. These are my 5 links. Similarly, number of links equal to 5. Similarly, if I will directly follow the basic rule, this is one revolute pair, this is one revolute pair, one revolute pair, one revolute pair, binary joint. So number of binary joints are 6. For example, there will be no higher pair. There will be no higher pair. Higher pair means h equal to 0. And if I will directly use the equation f equal to 3 n minus 1 minus 2j minus h, I will get the answer, and that answer will be number of links 5, 5 minus 1, 4, 3 the 12 minus 6 into 2, 12, 12 minus 12, 0. ये blind answer हो गया. Okay, and my friend, this answer is wrong. Because if you will see the figure, you will find that there is a redundant link. Redundant means if I will remove link number 3, it is nothing, it is example of a coupler link of a locomotive. Coupler link of a locomotive. So here the basic concept is that if I will remove link number 3, if I am removing link number 3. So the motion will not get disturbed. If this is rotating, this is also rotating, and this is also rotating. The input and output motion is not disturbed. So if I am removing link number 3, if I remove link number 3, the input and output motion will not get disturbed. It will not get disturbed. So there is no use for this link. अगर ये लिंक को मैंने हटा दिया, ये लिंक को अगर मैंने हटा दिया, so it will become a simple 4-bar mechanism. And if it is a simple 4-bar mechanism, then number of links are 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Number of binary joints are 4, so the answer will be 1. So ये आपको, so the correct answer is C. The correct answer is C. That is F equal to 1. So that you have to see for redundant cases. My friend, that is very important. In each and every mechanism, you should be familiar with the redundant cases. Now, for example, if you will take an example of a gear train, so there are some hints also. In gear train, always the degree of freedom is 2. It is a hint. For example, in next problem, take the example of a gear train. Take the example of a gear train, and this is your arm, and this arm is fixed here. So it is a gear train, epicyclic gear train, and this epicyclic gear train, it has 20 teeth, here 50 teeth, and also this is my arm. So it is an epicyclic gear train. Now we have to determine the number of degree of freedom or mobility of this gear train, which is shown in the figure. Okay, for example, if there are options, A is 0, B is 1, C is 2, and D is, for example, 3. These are 4 options. Now in gear train, here how many number of links are there? So before the answer, before telling you the solution, please note that in epicyclic gear train always the degree of freedom is 2. If you get confused, okay, तो ये आंसर रहता है बेटा इसका 2 generally in gear train. For example, here tell me, this is fixed link, this is link number 2, this is link number 3, and this is link number 4. So 2 gears, 1 arm and 1 fixed link. So number of links are 4. Similarly, see at this point, concentrate on this point. Here it is a ternary joint. Why ternary? Because at this point 3 links are attached, 1 and 2. Similarly, 1 and 3. These links are attached at this point. So at this joint there will be one binary joint, that is two revolute pair. Also at the top end one binary joint, here one revolute pair, and here you can see that there is a higher pair, point contact. Here there is a higher pair, so one higher pair. So number of links are 4. Number of binary joints are 3. Higher pair 1. No redundant degree of freedom. So answer will be 2. F equal to 3 n minus 1 minus 2j minus h. So this is your answer. It means that there will be 2 inputs. 2 inputs are required for one output. Now, after this, these are some examples of degree of freedom. There is also one simple question which has also come in the exam. Let us draw it. This is a ternary link, another ternary link. Both are joined in such a manner. There is another link, and this is fixed link. So this is one link, this is second link. It is somewhat tapered, okay, like this. Now this is the diagram, and all the participants, Abhijit, Aman, those who are present here, all the participants through the chat or directly tell me the answer. Unmute yourself and tell me the answer. I am not giving you any option, just tell me the answer. For example, if I will give you the option, A is -3, B is 0, C is 1, and the last option D is 2. Yes, unmute yourself and tell me the answer, anyone. Or randomly I will ask. For example, Parag Kove, do the calculations and tell me the answer. What is the mobility or degree of freedom of this mechanism? Any one of you use the equation of degree of freedom. F equal to 3n minus 1 minus 2j minus h, and tell the answer.
Degree of freedom is 1.
Very good, Lokesh. Degree of freedom is 1. Very nice. Degree of freedom is 1. Very nice. So this is link number 1. This is 2. This is 3. This is 4. This is 5. This is 6. This is my fixed link 1. So total number of links are 6. Number of binary joints are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. 7 binary joints. Okay. So answer is 1. There is no higher pair. So this is the answer. Here don't get confused. 3 and 4 को redundant मत समझना. Redundant are parallel links. मूव साइड बाय साइड। यहाँ पर अगर आप एक लिंक निकाल दोगे 3 या 4 में से, तो इट विल नॉट go through the input and output sequence. So this is one concept of degree of freedom. Now let us go for another part. For example, see, this is the diagram. Okay, it is also a special case, and here you have to determine degree of freedom. So this will be your homework. Option 1, second option 0, third option 2, and fourth option -1. These are the 4 options. Tell me the answer. ये यहीं पर ही बता दो. Tell me the answer. Very simple question related to degree of freedom. Now basically, if you are dealing with degree of freedom questions, you should be very clear about the redundant layer. Here, this is your prismatic pair. Okay, this is your slider. These are your prismatic. This is your prismatic pair. Okay, if you will remove, for example, this is link 1, this is link 2, this is link 3, this is link 4. If you remove link 3, there will be no geometrical difference. There will be no geometrical difference between the link. There will be no geometrical difference. If you will remove the link 3, slider अपना slide करते रहेगा irrespective of link 3, because slider is connected with link 2 crank and slider is connected with link 4 crank. If 2 will rotate, slider will slide. If 4 will rotate, slider will slide. So with the help of 3, with the link 3, there is no utilization in input and output sequence of motion. So 3 is a redundant link. 3 will be a redundant link. Now, similarly, let's come to next part of our class, that is Greshov's law. Come to the next part, Greshov's law. Now, tell me, basically, the first mechanism which has come into picture was 4-bar mechanism. After 4-bar mechanism, second modification was single slider crank mechanism, and third modification was double slider crank mechanism. So basically, Greshov's law is applicable to 4-bar mechanism because Greshov has introduced this mechanism by applying his theory to a 4-bar mechanism. Now what Gresham's law says? Gresham's law says that in a 4-bar mechanism, if there has to be continuous motion, relative motion between the links, in that condition, the sum of the shortest and longest link should be less than or equal to the remaining two links. So I will just write the equation. This is my crank. Rocker, coupler, this is the crank, and this is the rocker. This is coupler which connects. This is crank, coupler, and this is my rocker. Now let us say that this is S, this is L, this is P, and this is Q. So Gresham's law, S is the shortest link, L is the longest link, assume it, and remaining two links are P and Q. So Gresham's law states that for continuous relative motion, the sum of the length of shortest and longest link should not be greater than the sum of the remaining two links if there is to be a continuous relative motion between two links. So for a continuous relative motion, S plus L, shortest and longest link, should be less than or equal to P plus Q. So this is Gresham's law for continuous motion. Shortest and longest link should be less than or equal to P plus Q. Now, if S plus L, if S, I will write here, if one is class 1 mechanism and one is class 2 mechanism. Class 1 means S plus L less than P plus Q. Class 2 means S plus L greater than P plus Q. This is class 1 and class 2 mechanism. So if you want to attempt the questions related to Gresham's law, a student must be clear with the concept of class 1 and class 2 mechanism and what will happen if out of the 4 links, that is shortest link S, longest link L, remaining 2 links P and Q. So what will happen if one of the link is fixed? How the mechanism will work? A student has to be very crystal clear before attempting all these questions, because these questions need a bit of imagination and clear concept. Now see, in class 1 mechanism and in class 2 mechanism, also if S plus L is equal to P plus Q, then it is the class 3 mechanism in special cases. Now what I will do, you are aware, all the students are aware that what is crank? The crank is a machine member or element which is rotating continuously through 360 degree of one revolution. What is rocker? Which oscillates. And what is coupler? Coupler is an intermediate link or a connecting rod link which does not have pure rotation as well as pure translational motion. उसमें दोनों रहते हैं. Okay. Now so let us see the basic concept of class 1 and class 2 mechanism. S plus L less than P plus Q, S plus L greater than P plus Q. If in class 1, if shortest link is fixed, if shortest link is fixed, out of the 4 links, if shortest link is fixed, then the mechanism is double crank mechanism. Similarly, if longest link is fixed, then the mechanism will be crank rocker mechanism. And if the link which is adjacent, or if the link which is opposite to the longest link is fixed, link opposite to the longest link, for example, if this is the diagram, shortest, longest, so link opposite to the P है, it is Q, that is Q according to this diagram. So if link opposite to the longest link is fixed, in this diagram it is Q, then again it is a crank rocker mechanism, and the remaining link, that is P, because we have seen link as link L, link Q, and the remaining link is P. If P is fixed, then it is double rocker mechanism. So this is class 1 condition. You should know it and you should be aware of it. And similarly, in class 2 condition, I will write on the top hand side, here I will write, similarly in class 2 condition, S plus L is greater than P plus Q. And in class 2, कोई सा भी link, either it is shortest, either it is longest, either it is P, either it is Q, any link is fixed, no matter, always you can fix any link, always it will be a double rocker mechanism. So in gate, class 2 mechanism is not asked, because in class 2 mechanism always it is a double rocker. A student knows it is a double rocker mechanism. So what is the need to ask the question? There is no need. Need arises when it is a problem of class 1, because in class 1 there are certain number of concepts that a student should know while solving it. So for example, let us take a question, and in that question let us see that in a 4-bar mechanism, let us draw a 4-bar. In a 4-bar mechanisms, there are 4 length of link. This will be your problem number 4. 100 mm length. Question of 4-bar. 4-bar mechanism. There are 4 length: 100, 200, 300 and 350. 100, 200, 300, 100 and 450 mm. These are the four respective, sorry, 350 mm. These are the length of all the four links. Now, if 350 mm link is fixed, if 350 mm link is fixed, comma, the number of links